Welcome, beloved. I'd like to ask you a question. Have you ever had an experience or a moment in time where, whatever your struggle was in that moment, you just knew that the only way you were going to get through it was to surrender? Just let go, whatever that meant, no matter if it was to a higher power or letting go of the belief that you had to or must control an uncontrollable situation. Well, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. I want to share a little something with you, and it's basically about how to surrender and cultivating self-awareness and insight to self-discovery. There was a moment in time when it felt like everything or every challenge that could arise on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, hit hard for me. It was a time of processing my own health concerns, the health of a loved one, theirs and others I loved dearly making their transition, and the feeling of being surrounded by the darkest side of people, by both anger and fear that had gone unhealed in themselves, making others, of course, and at that moment myself, as the place to put blame and shame. Taking it upon myself from learned patterns, my body and my choices were reflecting those negative results. Many life lessons came forefront at that time, and a choice. To choose life or to choose to end life. Though it's not always necessary to have major life crises, to have awakening moments, it is often the case, at least in that instance it was for me. As you can see, since I'm speaking with you today, I chose life. I made that choice while I was in the middle of consoling another over their heartbreak, of their watching me and what I'm going through. I had an out-of-body feeling of watching myself become more withdrawn from life. I noticed how even when I was crying out for help, to be heard, to be consoled, to be understood, to be uplifted, and not finding it through another human being at that moment, I was doing what I needed to even do for myself for another person again. The first thought was to confirm that my purpose for living no longer existed, that somehow I was not of value because of those situations, which of course I was erroneously basing upon how others were responding or interacting with me, because they can only do and give as much as what is within them. When we're in our knowing, when we are in our heart of hearts, we know that. But as you know, when we're not in that space, we don't. At that time, there was another voice that spoke in my mind, coming from my heart space, echoing in my ears, that said, "This is not who you are. This is not who you are, beloved." I knew that it meant that the version of me I was observing and declaring to be weak or worthless, unloved, and therefore unlovable, was not who or what I truly am. And my soul knew this. The depths of my heart, the wisdom of my heart knew this. My mind, my body, and my spirit needed to be remembered and reminded in order to heal and come back to balance. In that moment, as I mentioned, I chose life. I chose to remember who I really am from a soul level, so that I would never again feel as I did in that moment, even though I had no idea what that would mean, what the future would become, how it would unfold, or even what I would do to figure this out. I just knew it would come. So my only option in that moment was to surrender. I surrendered. I surrendered to the unknown. I surrendered to not having any control how others felt or their opinions, good, bad, or indifferent, to the best of my ability. I surrendered to that higher power that knows how to guide me better through better feeling thoughts, better decisions, through my impulses, how to love and care for myself and my mind and in my body and in my heart, how to heal from the inside out. Yes, a higher power, whatever the name, the divine, the source of power that animates this body, the world, and everything in our universe. It's in each and every one of us, and we are in it. Call it God, Goddess, divine source, the superconscious supreme being, or the field of energy aware of us. Whatever name or description helps you to identify the powers that be is completely and totally okay. It's not the name, it's the sensation and the experience that we have. Having such a powerful shift in awareness has taught me the importance, the priority of nurturing that inner and sacred relationship above all else. This and other life experiences have shown me how to go within and learn how to partner with that higher power, which is an ongoing process. It's doing the inner work. It's looking at the reasons behind my choices and behavior to understand it without judgment. Only then can I change it. Only then will patterns change so that life changes for the better. I'll say it this way. That's how we change how we experience life. By changing how we see things, then the things we see will change. I will not say that I've got it all down for every topic and with everything all figured out at all. As long as we're living this life, as long as I'm alive, there's an ever expanding and evolution always taking place. It's moment to moment and day to day, topic to topic. So therefore, there will always be more to discover and to learn and become and share. Even a prior understanding that can give us insight later on always is something that we expand upon. It can be refined and clarified, deepened, expanded. That's natural. That's nature. Nowadays, I find it prudent to be committed to this process because it invokes peace, love without condition, and joy from the inside out. And what I have within, as it overflows, I can be in the presence of others in a harmonious and loving way. And it's what I attract. Who doesn't want that, right? I mean, after all, the natural laws are unbiased and they work that way. And it's really good to know that because then we do know what to do and how to do it. That's self-empowerment. My friends, let me ask you, are you struggling to make a shift in your life? Your first step has brought you this far. You're looking, you're searching, you're discerning. How do I know? Because you have a desire to make a change in yourself, and that's always the first step. So you know what? Congratulations, and congratulate yourself. You're farther along than you realize. It's probably just on this topic. Sometimes we have a blend of topics, but at the moment, it's what's driving you forward. So just for now, literally, just for this moment, pause. Take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart and thank it for hearing your request and guiding you here to this moment right now. And you know what? I'm really glad that I get to be in some small way a small part of your journey, and you are a part of mine. There are no mistakes, only divine timing. My friends, I have shared some insights and tools in my book called HSP, Empathic and Empowered, Expanding My Perspective. I invite you, if it resonates with you, calls to you, to learn more about it by going to my website at josephinesheppard.com. Under the menu, it'll say the book, and I'll leave that information below as well. Until next time, my friends, much love and light and many blessings. Namaste.